here immediately. We got Quest Esports and Surplus Esports University, which I am very excited about. A couple of players on this team that we're very familiar with. Surplus coming in. The man himself, Seymour. I'm huge friends with Surplus. He did an amazing job on the Pro League broadcast alongside Remco and QI Jacob. I'm very excited to see what they got. Is Zentaro Ben and Atlas coming in on the other side for Quest?
A little unfortunate. I'm a big fan of the Atlas goalies, so having the ban right away doesn't seem like Jacob's going to be too fond of that either. The Dubu pick right off the bat mixed with the Juliet and what looks like an Asher is going to be strong for Night Market. Good aggression from the Asher mixed with the Juliet. I'm loving what we're seeing, but again, nothing's ever locked in until we get to see it. No more Juliet. We get that Kai.
Yeah, and Pikes on Imi on the other side, so it's gonna be quite a different game. No Juliet, so actually no duels on this iteration of Night Market. Of course, this is going to be a Swiss format for today, best of ones throughout. So you have one opportunity, one single map to try to make it happen. We'll see. I'm curious to see what the opening awakenings are, first and foremost. Remco has been an incredibly strong Kai player in the past, notably not on goalie this time, even though that seemed to be their primary role before. I wonder if that might be because of Surplus coming onto the team, and we do have the awakenings here. Spark of Agi on Remco alone, but other than that, it is built different, and I gotta say I like it.
And the double opening right off the bat, too, from Quest, so Jacob can't do much about that. A well-played shot to open up that net. And then right place, right time for that Vice. But, yeah, going to have to pay attention to that spark of agility on Remco. See if you're going to build sparks throughout the rest of this one. I mean, Kai late game, that, is definitely going to be something that will help him out. Although, now having to face down for that one, now they have to answer back with a goal of their own.
Does seem like they've got their wits about them, though. They're able to pull down one shield barrier on the bottom side. Surplus trying to get a little bit in the face of the opposition goaltender right there, but it's going rough, and they're off the side. Surplus, oh no. KO'd. I'm fairly certain that's not the first one that we saw, but Remco will get a goal barrier on the other end, unlocks that Giga Blast for hitting level 2. They do lose one on their own side. Hamster Quest actually makes it 2, trying for the self-dribble pass over to Switch, and that's a beautiful 1-2 play.
And I like that core control coming out from Quest to just dominate the one side of the map with Surplus being out of play for that moment. The blink from Hamster able to, completely hold one side of the map under control while you are doubling up on the other side. So well played from Quest, now up by 2. Even losing out on their goal first, but another knockoff for Quest, and the net's already open. This is not looking good for Surplus.
There goes Remco as well, so no bottom side coverage. Switch does have core flip available. Hamster Quest can't actually get it past the Tofu while Surplus is back, but the glitch pop is there with the pre-fire, and that's a 3-0 set number 1. But the Awakening draft still coming up here, Seymour. We did see life out of Surplus Uni at the beginning of this match.
Ooh, and right away, one thing I'm going to be looking at for sure from Surplus is just building up their stagger a little bit, because a little rough around the edges quite literally. So Timeless Creator was expected off the Dubu. Looks like you're going for the bulk up on the Asher. Surplus definitely is going to need that as, back-to-back knockouts off the bat for the Surplus team. So hopefully, things can turn around going forward, but instead changing up to the Fire Up for the Asher.
Yeah, I can't say I'm too huge of... Well, I'm not too huge on that, but at the same time, bulk up is kind of contingent, right? Because if you're already losing the brawl, you're going to get that extra stagger, but already your power has been outscaled by the opposition. Oh my goodness, the Supernova did so much damage. The double KO with the follow-up. Remco's going to try all that they can. Their barrage was just put on cooldown only a moment ago, and they can't defend the bottom side. A 1-2-3 play for Quest Esports, and they make it happen.
And the passing play from Quest has been something to watch out for those goalies, whether it's Jacob or Remco in that same position. But, going forward, Surplus, they just got to be aware of their positioning from this side, because Hamster has been dominating in these knockouts and always catching this Surplus team out of position. So, going to have to watch for this one going forward. Now down to one side of the net for each side. It's going to be open for Surplus. They bully right past with the Juliet combo. 2 on the board for Quest Esports here in set 2.
You can see how challenging it is, especially when you don't have a Juliet to contest of your own. Switch is able to get right up in the face of the opposition and use every single one of the, I guess abilities that go on cooldown in Juliet's kit, and it makes it nigh impossible for Dubu to get that one away. But a double berry here, Surplus actually finally hitting level 2 and unlocks that pass splitter, immediately puts it to use, driving Hamster Quest back, but they, get annihilated off the side. Somehow QI Jacob keeps that away, but not for long, and the power core comes in to make it 2 shield bears. Core flip comes in, the wall's enough, but a KO now on the opposition goalie. QI Jacob out of the picture. Remco going in by just enough time for Surplus to get back, and they can't defend it. 3-0 yet again for Quest Esports.
The core flip miss from Surplus, the core flip miss from Remco, the knockout then from the Asher, and that puts Surplus Uni in such a bad spot yet again. I mean, Quest are just bullying their way through this whole game, now up 2 sets, 3-0s on both sides. And, I mean, you look at this pick, you're going to build another Spark if you're Kai, but you just look at what you've been given so far if you're Surplus. I mean, 2 Sparks on the board here for that Kai to choose from. You go for the focus this time, hoping that, your cooldown is going to help you control that midfield a little bit better. It's just, it all kind of boils down right now, Squid, to Surplus. They just have to watch for these knockouts because they're giving up so much control of the map.
Well, QI Jacob also took Blast Cannon, but Remco now with Reverberation as well as 2 Sparks, one of Focus and one of Agi, and that is going to hurt Surplus off the top yet again. QI Jacob has to put an amazing effort forward just to get that one away. He does pull a Tofu Wall, though, and Lilybun on the Aimi. I mean, they haven't really been a focus for this game so far just because Surplus, their team hasn't been on the offense so much. Surplus Uni, that is to say, nice little strike shot defense down there to the bottom side, gets it over to Switches and just barely gets that second goal barrier down. Now it's Vice and Juliet both on the attack. This one will see a way out to Remco. And 20 seconds to go in regulation. It's not looking good though. 2 players up top, and QA Jacob, you're going to be hard pressed to defend that.
Billy's just missing off for Jacob too, and slips on past, just bullied again and again between Hamster and Switch. The Juliet Vice combo has been lethal. And off the bat, Remco's going to be able to open up at least 1 barrier, but can they work the second one off this? Jacob have to look at the pass over to Remco, up to Surplus. Surplus getting knocked down a little bit low on Stagger, so has to be wary of another knockout while they lose a barrier of their own. Flip for Remco is available too, so potential to just open this up with a little bit of power.
Speaking of Remco as well, I mentioned that core flip being available, a very valuable tool in the right hands, and we'll see surely like coming out of that Surplus, taken off the top yet again. Remco gonna pop the flip to try and deny Switches, and it's just enough to get that one away. It didn't actually produce any results with that one, but the Shield Bear will go down nonetheless. Forced to go evasive is Jacob, but it's not going to be enough for them either. They're showing off the side. Surplus can't cover the top, and that's goal number 2.
Go post to post with it as well for Juliet to put it away. Switch brings them up 2. And this is it for Surplus at the moment. Almost clean sweep for Quest. 1 more goal. And for anybody who's just tuning in, I mean, this is a single elim once we get into the bracket, but a Swiss for right now. So it's not the end of the road for Surplus. They will have time to bounce back, but from what it looks like, this Quest Esports team, they are a well-oiled killing machine.
And the ace comes through. All they gotta do is throw the core in now, and they're just gonna make it a 1-2-3 passing play. Why not? In fact, Switch doesn't even get in on it. They just let Lilybun have the goal. And a very clean 3-0 in sets and 3-0s all across the board. 4 goals. I don't really think you can get much more dominant than that. So for Quest Esports, quality win. You go up 1-0 in the Swiss. And for Surplus Esports University, well, there were some things that hopefully you can learn from on that one. I feel though, Remco for me, not playing goalie, playing Kai forward this time around, and honestly, I did kind of like where the build was going. You saw the Spark of Agi leading into Reverberation with the extra cooldown and Stagger as well as the Spark of Focus, and honestly, had they been able to take a set and get maybe a favorable draft after that, Remco could really have started to scale because we saw that haste coming in and making them incredibly quick on top of the Spark of Agility that they already had with the plus, I believe it's 18% with 2 Sparks. I might be wrong. 16. 18. I don't remember what the number is. Somebody put it in the chat for me so I can know. But he was fast. The point was he was fast. He had low cooldowns, and Remco is an amazing Kai player. So that's all I wanted to point out. But when, of course, you have an enemy brawler on the other side alongside Vice, who's playing very quality, I would say, zone control, then you start to have problems no matter how good your build is.
Yeah, I think that's like the issue. You know, on paper, it looked good what you were building on the side for Surplus, but when you put it into practice for that mode, I think Quest just had the right idea to target, you know, one of their main brawlers, keep them off the map, always knock them out, and you're not really able to put those cooldowns to full use when you're, you know, in a 2v1 all the time throughout that midfield. So I think Quest just came up into that with the right idea. They targeted it out. They made sure that they were always playing with that player advantage. And as soon as, you know, Jacob couldn't stop those passes, it's just smooth sailing there for Quest Esports.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Jacob as well, and it can be quite challenging to play goalie when you're being threatened to go off the side every 3 seconds, it felt like. And then, of course, when you have two players trying to stuff you, we've seen Vice and Juliet, of course. Juliet, probably one of the best strikers, if not the best striker in the current meta. So you're trying to play 1v1 in defense against Juliet, and then you add Vice into the mix on occasion, and it's just not going to work out for you. But that's going to be round one of the Swiss sorted out here on the stream. There's still plenty of more rounds to go. So I'll take a look around the bracket here just to kind of see what's going on. For one, Trio Abusers take their first dub. I think that was kind of expected. Elsewhere, Misfits, Blue Blazing Jumper, Ariano, they also take their dub over 2.5 Women. Westerado takes a dub. 2MB, 3 Sexy Men, which I have to say is kind of that's a name. Holy Hallelujah with Dot Snake, and Lumos. That's a team to keep your eye on. And many, many others taking dubs here and again. Lakeland University, another collegiate team that I kind of want to keep tabs with. And I believe we do have an exclamation mark bracket command if you want to follow along with everything that's going on in this particular iteration of Vaudible's Primetime Tuesday. But we're going to take a short break here while we get that next round set up. It might yet be a minute, so we'll be active in chat. We'll be looking around, but we'll see you in a few.